Hi, we are developing the way to use the motion capture for 2D animations for game development or even cartoon in case you are fine with more of a simple look. Today we will cover how to set up the puppet in Adobe Animate to work with motion capture, and in the end we will use a short video to recognize the elbow movement and import the animation. The goal for today is to build the base of the body and rig one arm for the motion capture. We will also develop the template that I will share in the description below. It will only have one arm prepared, so I recommend you downloading it and following along to create the second arm yourself. I do assume that you will have some basic knowledge of Adobe Animate. You don't have to be a professional, but if I say symbol or align, you will need to understand what it is. Let's open a new project and add the circle to a project. Create a symbol and call it a guide. It will be a special symbol that we will use for animation. We can get rid of it for now, we just want it to be in a library. Now let's start building the character. Create the box that will roughly represent the bounding box of the character. Now we can make the character symbol. Make sure that the registration point is at the bottom center for easier leveling with the ground. Name your symbol. We will have a lot of them at the end, so naming is important. For the main puppet, I will use ++ at the start. This way, when we refer to the puppet in a library, it will be on the very top. Go inside the symbol and start building the layers for the body parts. The whole process will be a bit weird. We will have the symbols inside the symbols inside the symbols, but hopefully it will all make sense at the end. Let's create the body. Here the important thing is to fit the joints as circles, so we have the appropriate rotation and we can move the body parts. Move the art inside the symbol to change where the registration point lives in order to change your rotation a little bit and basically fit the circle until you're more or less happy how your joints fit. We will not stop at that too much, but we want to have the roughly nice body. We'll also need to add hips because they will be the center of everything, and without them it kind of looks awkward. Now we can select the body and create the symbol for the torso. Go inside the torso symbol and create the shoulder symbol inside that. This way we have this nested structure. Well, we will have torso. Inside the torso we have the shoulder. Inside the shoulder we will have elbow. We need that in order to keep all the body parts together when we animate, because if they are all in the same layer, it would be much harder for us to keep them on the same place as we animated them automatically. For the arm itself, let's keep it simple. Let's draw a circle as our standard guide for rotation and just a simple rectangle to represent the shoulder. Don't use our special created guide circle. This is just a normal circle for our shoulder to understand where it's supposed to be rotated. Now go back to the torso symbol, and now we will use this guide circle that we created earlier. Add the layer on top and add the guide circle on it. Align and size it with the shoulder circle. Now parent shoulder to the guide circle. So when we rotate the circle, we rotate all the symbol for our animation. This looks awkward, but we do need this. Let's review why. At the beginning, we created the symbol of the circle. Let's using command import motion XML to rotate the circle. Since it's a circle and we have the center of rotation in the middle, we expect it to be in the same place, but we can see that at the end, it moves around on X and Y axis. I'm not sure why it's happening, but I found a way to bypass this issue. Since it's a circle, the width and the height is always the same no matter what is the rotation. This allows us to hit this button, select all the circles, and align them vertically and horizontally in order to put them all in the same place. And since the shoulder itself is parented to the circle, it also moved in the appropriate place. We cannot really align it with the shoulder directly because it's different height and width, but with the guide circles we can do it all the time. After we brought everything together, we just need to reposition everything back where shoulder belongs, and we're good to go. To make it easier to bring everything back, I would suggest to set up guides before you start animating, and just to mark the place where you want your shoulder to be when you're done animating. This way you don't have to think or aim. Last thing to do is just to figure out how to build the elbow, and it's exactly the same process as the shoulder, and the look is gonna be the same because it's just a template puppet. Now just to demonstrate how the different body parts work together, let's exit the shoulder symbol and enter the torso symbol. In the torso we can apply animation to the shoulder in the same way as we did it for the elbow, but now only the shoulder will move and our elbow is already animated. Now we can click out all the way from the symbols and we are ready to see the animation. But as we can see, there are some issues, so we are not quite ready to play for some reason. To figure out why, let's get back to the circle and we can see that some of the layers are not really in line with each other. And if you see that some of them are lacking the frames, just select them and hit F5 until you put them all in line. This will make sure that all the art is kept. Also make sure that the bigger layers are all set up for play once. Now you can see that the both joints are working together and our arm moves. We'll explore how to make the process more efficient, but this is the way I have it now, and let me know if you have some ideas how to make it better. Let's see how can we animate the elbows that we just created using the video. You will need to be able to run the Python script. I use the Anaconda and Spider. You can find the links in the description, and you just need to install them and then run the Spider. And in case you're running and something is not found, just hit over here, pip install, and whatever is not found, and you'll be good. Code is big, but there is not much you need to change in there. In my case, I just got a video. I put it in the same folder as my Python script, and I changed this place to represent the name of the video. After this, we hit F5 and the video is playing and the joints are recognized and saved to the file. This allows me to open the second file, run it again, and we got our XML with the joint rotation. Select the first frame, import the motion for the motion guide, align all, and bring it back to place. And as you can see, after we set things up, animating is fairly straightforward, and in future videos we will explore how do we swap body parts and dive deeper into the rotation and whole other set of different things. For example, if we had the legs, we need to make sure to stick them on the ground and move the hips now. So a lot of things to consider and a lot of things to cover. We will definitely keep working on that. It's still a process and a project in development. So let me know if you have any ideas, comment here or join Discord or Twitch. Cheers.